The movie opens at NERD, Nucleic Exchange Research and Development, a cutting-edge biotech company focused on genetic splicing. Scientists Clive Nicolai and Elsa Cast are the stars of the lab. They have spent years combining DNA from different animals to create new hybrid organisms that produce valuable medicinal proteins for livestock. After countless failures, they finally succeed with two grotesque slug-like creatures they named Fred and Ginger. The hybrids are stable, profitable, and a massive win for the company. Watching their creations thrive fills Clive and Elsa with excitement. They realize the same splicing technique could be applied to humans, potentially curing devastating diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and more. They pitch the idea to their bosses, Joan Charot and William Barlow, but the executives shut it down immediately. Human experimentation is off-limits, too much legal and PR risk. The company forbids any further work in that direction. Clive accepts the decision. Elsa does not. She convinces Clive they should continue in secret, just to see if it is possible. They will terminate the creature before it develops too far, so no one will ever know. Clive reluctantly agrees. In a hidden lab section, they begin splicing human DNA with animal genes. After several failed attempts, they create a viable embryo. Elsa insists on moving it to the birthing chamber to accelerate development. Clive objects, but Elsa argues it is for science, and they will destroy it long before it becomes anything recognizable. They start the process. Later, while Clive talks to a colleague who asks about their latest project, but he dodges the question nervously. Meanwhile, Elsa monitors the incubator obsessively. The fetal heartbeat flatlines for a terrifying moment, then resumes. Relief washes over her. That evening, Clive and Elsa relax in their apartment, casually discussing moving to a bigger place and, awkwardly, the idea of having children. Elsa tenses visibly at the topic. Their conversation is interrupted by an alarm on Clive's phone. They rush back to the lab. The fetus is developing far faster than expected. It is ready to emerge months ahead of schedule. Clive and Elsa desperately try to stop the birthing sequence, but the machine overrides them. Elsa injures her hand badly during the struggle. The creature is born, a strange, amphibian-like hybrid. Before it can escape or cause harm, Clive traps it under a plastic container. Then he rushes to help Elsa, who is convulsing from what appears to be an infected wound, likely venom from the creature. He injects her with an antidote, and she stabilizes. Back at the apartment, both are shaken. Clive insists they destroy the creature immediately. Elsa argues they can still learn from it, and they should not waste the opportunity. Clive is adamant, but Elsa's determination wins out. They return to the lab to terminate it, only to find what looks like a dead body in the incubator. Upon closer inspection, Elsa realizes it is just dead tissue. The creature itself is missing. Small, rapid footsteps echo. A tiny, bird-like hybrid scurries toward Elsa. It imprints on her immediately, almost like a newborn chick. Clive and Elsa knock it out and study it. Right? They discover it can produce venom, something impossible based on the DNA they used. The creature ages at an accelerated rate due to genetic instability. It grows from tiny to child-sized in weeks. Elsa begins treating it less like an experiment and more like a child, naming it Dren, nerdy spelled backward after it arranges toys to spell the company name. She bonds deeply. Clive grows increasingly worried about the attachment. Dren has grown large, with a more humanoid, feminine appearance and toddler-level intelligence. Elsa's maternal treatment leads to arguments with Clive. Their secret lab is about to be renovated, risking exposure. Clive's brother Gavin, a fellow scientist, overhears them and accidentally encounters Dren. But terrified, he flees. To protect their secret, Clive and Elsa smuggle Dren in a box to an isolated farmhouse once owned by Elsa's abusive mother. Dren develops a high fever. They cool her in a bath. Clive holds her underwater, revealing she has developed gills. Elsa gives Dren a Barbie doll she hid from her own controlling mother as a child. Dren continues growing, now tall, womanly, and restless. While Clive and Elsa are intimate on the couch, Dren watches secretly from the next room. The next day, they present Fred and Ginger publicly. Disaster strikes. The two hybrids turn violent and fight to the death. Examination reveals Ginger spontaneously changed sex, a hidden trait in their DNA. Clive and Elsa relocate Dren to the farmhouse full-time. Dren runs off exploring but grows bored and rebellious without constant attention. Elsa stays home to keep her company. applying makeup and jewelry, things her own mother forbade. Dren draws pictures, all of Clive, none of Elsa. When Elsa confronts her, Dren panics and runs to her cat. Elsa takes the cat away, telling Dren she cannot have everything she wants. Clive arrives, dances with Dren to cheer her up, and feels a forbidden attraction. He confronts Elsa, realizing she used her own DNA in the splice. They argue fiercely. Clive storms out. Alone with Dren, Elsa returns the cat, but Dren kills it in rage. Elsa slaps her. Dren attacks, steals the barn keys, but is subdued. Elsa straps her to an operating table, removes her jewelry and clothes, and amputates her stinger violently. Elsa takes the stinger back to the lab for protein extraction. The next day, Clive returns to the farmhouse to find Elsa gone. Dren, now regenerated her stinger, tries to seduce him. Clive resists at first but gives in. They have intercourse. Elsa walks in, sees everything, and flees in horror. Clive chases her. They drive back to their apartment and argue intensely. Elsa admits she created Dren partly because she wanted a child she could control, a reaction to her abusive childhood where she had no power. They return to the farmhouse. Dren appears dead in bed. They bury her and burn her belongings. While cleaning, Elsa finds Dren's drawings, including ones of herself. Suddenly, Gavin and Barlow arrive. They have discovered the secret. Before they can speak, Dren bursts in, now fully masculine, aggressive, and vengeful. Dren kills Barlow and Gavin brutally, then attacks Clive. Elsa flees into the woods. Dren catches her quickly, pins her down, and attempts to force itself on her. Clive intervenes, impaling Dren from behind with a branch. Dren turns on Clive. Elsa grabs a rock and bashes Dren's head repeatedly until it dies. In the aftermath, Elsa remains employed at NERD and receives approval to continue research using proteins extracted from Dren's body. As she stands up in a meeting, she is visibly pregnant, heavily implying she is carrying Dren's child. The final shot lingers on her stomach, hinting that the cycle of creation and horror is far from over.